I'm done with that exercise on both sides, right? So this is how the pattern Peanuckle looks like. The last step is to generally ink these small sections that are left in between, but we'll see if we want to ink it in this case or not, right? So now let us move on straight away to our next angle. So I am going to draw the pattern Vynix here. We have already learned how to draw this pattern. Right. Like this. Again another one here. So take your time, go slow. You can bring in patterns of your choice, whichever you like, right? Again, one more here. I'm drawing pretty big ones here. You can draw smaller ones also, right? One more probably here. Yeah. So done with my Vynix. So let us now give it a border, as we always add an aura to our Vynix. So let us add an aura. Right. Like this. So finished with my oraing. I'm now going to add some fun factor here. So going to add these leafy shapes inside my Vynix like this, just to highlight it. Since the petals are pretty big, so they give you that space to play around. You can enhance by adding anything else. Please go ahead, do something of your own. I feel like doing this at the moment, so enhancing the look of my Vynix by a small tangulation. Right, so I'll do this for all. Yeah, so I have done that exercise for all. So these small little spaces that are left in between, not a bad idea to add some tipples here and there. Right. Yeah, so I'm now going to introduce another tangle called squid. So I will be drawing some Bronx cheers here, right? So couple of them like this, and then I'm going to be drawing these tentacles. Add a little zen, add a little weight to the line like this, right? So going to add a couple of them. Again add some weight to the line, right? Drawing behind. So take your time, go slow. You can draw any other pattern of your choice, as I always keep saying. Please draw your own go-to tangles, tangles that come most easily to you. Use them. Again adding some weight, right? So you can draw any number. Of these tentacles. Looks like a sea creature to me. Actually inspired from the look of a sea creature, right? So again, can add one here like this. Right, one probably just visible a little, drawing behind, right? One crossing over like this probably. Right, so I think that would be enough. We can add some orbs here. Yeah, and the last thing that we can add, if you wish, is another pattern by the name Indirella. So small little spaces. If you don't like them quite much, you can leave the rest of the tile empty also, but if you wish, you can add some Indirellas. So I have switched my pen and I'm adding these Indirellas here using a pen, right? So a fun tile with some Peanuckle knuckle and some more patterns to go along. Something like probably an underwater thing, but not exactly, right? So you can add some more depending on how many do you want. Like this. So Indirella, a purely aura based pattern, nothing but auras, lines to be drawn in such a fashion that they don't touch each other, right? I think that's enough. I'm not going to add any more to my tile. So let us start to shade, right? So I'm just going to add some thick graphite at the edges here. Like this. Right, and then some on my Vinex from the place where these leaves are emerging, the center strip, like this. Just darkening the center, right, and then some over my squid. I'll probably use my gray watercolor pencil to darken the edges. You can also do it with your pencil, but it would be better to use the gray watercolor pencil. I can't find it, so I'm going to be using my pencil at the moment. Yeah, and then some on the Indirellas. Right, so let us first start to shade and then we'll see what else. So I'm going to blend this graphite that I have put at the edges. Bring it towards the center. But again, leave a highlight. So shading the tangle as a whole, as we call it, and not getting into shading each element of the tangle. Right, and then moving on to our the Vinex. So just blending the center without totally covering the entire leaf. Right. So take your time, go slow. Be careful where spaces are small that you don't cover the entire leaf. Right, I think I highlighted. So some on the squid, Indirellas, generally chalk pencil doesn't work easily on the watercolors, so we'll just see if we can highlight our Indirellas little more by using the chalk pencil. If we cannot, doesn't matter. Right, So again, you can add some, although there is already a weight on these lines, but if you wish, you can add some chalk under, some graphite underneath. So up to you. Doesn't need much of highlighting because of the already added weight, but you can add a little if you wish, just to give that shadow effect. Right, so we generally have some small orbs also around our squid, some really small ones. Like this. Up to you if you want to draw, you don't want to draw. And let me pick up my chalk pencil and then highlight the center of my pinnacle. It is working on the watercolor, so nice. Just even it out a little with a different ortolon. Right. And then some on the Indirella probably, if it works. Here it is. At times it doesn't work on the watercolor, so it's okay to leave it like that. Right, so a little highlight at the ends of your squid with the same watercolor pencil, the chalk pencil. Right, and then if you want, you can add a little highlight here. These are entirely up to you. They would look nice, right? So you can see how they pop up with a slight touch of chalk, right? So since it is working on the watercolor, I am taking that leverage and adding wherever I wish to. As I told you, at times it doesn't. Again, softening it a bit. The last one. So since we have darkened the center, we are highlighting the tips, right? And the color is already there, so it is giving a nice effect. So you have to press your pencil really hard to get that effect. So that's about it. Peanuckle with a few more patterns to go along. Let us now close our tile here. Right, so put in your chalk. So today is 22nd. So this is the Tangle Peanuckle. I have already shown you a few more tiles using the same pattern, right? So we'll meet again with another Zentangle original. Till then, have a good time. Bye bye. Stay safe.